Chapter 2. The Future's Presence. I understand your situation, and I will not let this go any further before it's too late. Shadowbane's Place, 10:23 a.m. I see, the strange Lucario responded after hearing to what Shadowbane and Shadowshifter had to say, and I think I know who's behind this dark plot. Upon hearing that, both Shadowbane and Shadowshifter were willing to listen, since they want to know what he might know. Before he started, he chuckled a bit. Oh, I forgot to mention who I am. I am Aurodox, a Lucario from the future. Aurodox then sat down to explain a little more about himself, as well as the situation. The one behind it is named Shadowdox, a dark Lucario with intense strength. This wasn't the first time that he has done this, let alone that he wasn't like this before. Chapter 3. Aurodox's Fight of His Past. Yes, Shadowdox was never like this, that is, up until that time. It was late that night when I, Aurodox, was only heading home with nothing but time on my hands, considering that everything was alright. But when I decided to visit Shadowdox, that was the last time that I would see him as a friend, way before he became an enemy. How did it happen? Well, he was an innocent victim of a dark act, a very dark act. I'm not sure of how dark it was, since I wasn't there. But the one that witnessed it happened to be a friend of mine. I couldn't believe what he told me. His body was engraved into a shadow of darkness, and he almost completely lost control of himself, as if he became someone new. Upon hearing that, I knew that I had to hurry, or all I would see is nothing but rubble. It took me a long period of time, but when I found him, he was completely different, much more than I expected. I've been expecting you, Aurodox, Shadowdox said to me, smirking with darkness flowing around him. I couldn't believe what I saw. I almost turned out to be no match to him, as he kept swinging hit after hit while I took immense blows hard. I didn't know how long I was going to last. I even thought I was going to end up being killed. What's the matter, Aurodox? Not feeling like yourself today? He again taunted me, and it was really starting to anger me. But that's when I realized that was what he wanted to do. With all those taunts that he kept throwing at me, I didn't know how long I could take it. Mentally and physically, I was getting tired and beaten up badly, but I wouldn't let that stop me. I mustn't give up. His fate lays in my hands. I stood up as if I didn't feel a thing. I knew I couldn't let him win, nor bring the world to destruction. But that's when I was wrong. As soon as I turned, he was gone. Dang it! I let him get away! I was really furious with myself for the next couple weeks, and I wouldn't calm down until I could track him down and stop him. Damn it, Shadowdox, where are you? I was nowhere near calming down, and I had an inside feeling that I wouldn't calm down even when I did find him. I was lost in my own anger and frustration. I couldn't even remember the last time I got so angry. All I knew was that I wanted to find him and stop the darkness that was making him do what he was doing. Ready or not, Shadowdox, you're mine to fight. Rest was a problem for me though, not that I needed it, but due to how furious I was, nothing else mattered until Shadowdox was taken down. And when I did find him, I swore that I would show no mercy until he was rid of that darkness. I knew it was going to be hard, but I had to fight, and regardless of what would have happened to me. It ended up being One of the toughest fights in my life. It is obvious that you are one of the strongest Lucario known, Shadowdog said to me, but I can be stronger than you. That was a very obvious answer coming from him, but it was even more obvious since he was corrupted by the intense darkness. Your darkness is much more corrupted than I've ever remembered. In fact, there hasn't been a time where your darkness was corrupted at all. It was completely clear that I was mad. Shut up! Shadowdog replied. This darkness is the best darkness I've had in years. That's what he thinks, I muttered, but then I shouted at him. This darkness is the cause of your unnatural wickedness. Fool! He replied. You'll never know the true darkness. All I did was yell back in anger and charged at him at full force. No! You'll never know until you say goodbye to the evil! The battle lasted for a long time, as it was nightfall and neither one of us were giving in. I hope you're ready to fall, Orthodox, because this will be the last time that I see you. Was it all over? I wasn't sure. I felt like I was going to pass out, but I couldn't give up, so I unleashed almost all of my strength, hopeful that it will force the evil darkness out of him. And it did. Ah! He yelled in pain. The darkness was leaving him for good. As for me, I could barely even stand. I was extremely weak after unleashing that attack. But I was glad that he was finally separated from that evil curse. When I awoke, I saw Shadowdogs leaning over me. Hey, are you alright, Hordox? I just let out a weak yes, but I was okay. Thank you for saving me. I can't remember what happened, though. I knew that I had to tell him. And now, I can't believe that same darkness is not only corrupting him, but now your brother and friends. You must tell those that haven't been infected to go in hiding, Orthodox said with a sigh. Shadowbane looked over for a moment and then said, Don't worry, we told them in advance. Good, Orthodox said, but we must hurry though. Orbane was gotten into... Ah! Oh no, we must stop Orbane. To be continued.